Good morning, students. This is Dr. Rajinder again with you. I hope you are doing well and staying safe in your hometowns. Well, students, in this video lecture, I'm going to discuss Introduction to Probability and Empirical Probability. These are the important components of Introduction to Probability, that is probability experiment, sample space, event, the probability of an event, impossible or null event, certain or sure event. Under empirical probability, I will also discuss empirical probability with frequency table. Well, students, let us start with some definitions. The first one is probability. So, different books you will find the definition of probability. Probability is the numerical description of how likely an event is to occur, or in other words, you can say that chance by which an event occurs. Probability is a number between 0 and 1, where roughly speaking 0 indicates impossibility and 1 indicates certainty. Students, the higher the probability of an event, the more likely it is that the event will occur. I repeat once again, numerical description of how likely an event is to occur is known as probability. It is a number between 0 and 1, where roughly speaking 0 indicates impossibility and 1 indicates certainty. The higher the probability of an event, the more likely it is that the event will occur. The next one, probability experiment. Any process whose result is determined by chance is known as probability experiment. What about the outcome? Any possible result of a probability experiment. Sample space, the collection of all possible outcomes for an experiment. Event, an event is a subset of the sample space. What about the probability of an event? The probability of an event E is denoted by P of E and always represents the fraction or percentage of trials of the experiment. Students, be careful. Probability of E value starts from 0 and goes until 1. This is one of the axiom of a probability. What about the impossible or null event? An event whose probability is 0 is known as impossible or a null event. Any event whose possibility is 100% or 1 is known as a certain or sure event. In the next slide, I will give you an example of these items. So here are some examples on probability experiments, outcome, sample space, event, impossible or null event, certain or sure event. So let us start with probability experiments. So rolling a die, flipping a coin are the examples of probability experiments. When we roll a die, so here are the possible outcomes. You can see here 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. And when we flip a coin, so there are two possibilities. Either you will get head or you will get a tail. So let us assume that this represent head, that is H, and this represent tail, that is T. So what about the outcomes? So students, if you can see, there are 6 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6 when we roll a die, and there are 2 outcomes when we flip a coin, that is head and tail. Sample space. If you remember, when I explained the sample space in the previous slide, I mentioned over there that sample space is nothing but the collection of all the possible outcomes, and usually we use omega to denote sample space. So how many outcomes we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So let us collect all and write in the form of a set. We use curly brackets and then 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is a sample space when we roll a die. The sample space of flipping a coin is omega equal curly bracket head comma tail, because we have only 2 outcomes when we flip a coin, that is head and tail, and when we collect these 2 outcomes and write in the form of a set, we call that one a sample space. So let us have a look on an example of an event. So rolling an even number is an event for the experiment of rolling a die. Students, if you look here, that how many outcomes we have? We have 6 outcomes, 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 and 6. So 2, 4 and 6 are even numbers. So when I explained the definition of an event, I made it clear over there that event is nothing but a subset of sample space. So even numbers are 2, 4 and 6. So E equal 2, 4, 6, and this is a subset of 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So this is how you can write an event. Usually we use a capital letter to represent an event. So E equal 2, 4, 6 with curly bracket constitute an event. So what about impossible or null event? If you remember, the definition of impossible or null event is any event we can call a null event or impossible event if its probability is 0. So the probability of getting a number greater than 6 when a die is thrown once is an impossible event. Why? Because as the highest number in a die is 6. So the probability of getting a number greater than 6 is how much? 0, because number of outcomes 0 and divided by 6. 0 divided 6 is 0. So probability of getting a number greater than 6 is equal to 0. That's why this is an example of impossible or null event. What about certain or sure event? The entire sample space is an example of a sure event. I repeat once again, entire sample space is an example of a sure event, because the probability of the entire sample space is 1. Why? Because how many outcomes for that? 6, and 6 divided by 6 equal 1. So I hope that you understand these items with the help of examples. So, well, students, empirical probability or experimental probability. Also, we can call this probability as observation based probability. So, a probability calculated by collecting data from past trials of the experiment is called an empirical probability. The probability obtained is then used to predict the future likelihood of the event occurring. And this is the formula which we are going to use for the calculation of empirical probability. Probability of an event E is equal to number of trials in which an event E occurs divided by total number of trials. I repeat once again, empirical probability is an observation based probability. So here is an example. A coin is tossed 50 times in which 32 times it gives a head. Find the empirical probability of getting a head. So total number of experiments or trials, how much? 50. So number of times head has come, 32 times. So empirical probability is equal number of times or trials in which an event occurs. And what is the event? Basically getting a head. So 32, and what are the total number of experiments or trials? 50. So 32 divided 50 will gives us an empirical probability. In another way, let us represent an event getting a head with E, and probability of E is equal to number of trials in which E occurs, and number of times in which an event occur is equal 32, and divided by total number of trials. So 32 over 50 is our empirical probability of getting a head. Let us do another example on empirical probability. A coin is tossed 50 times in which 32 times it gives a head. Find the empirical probability of getting a tail. So total number of experiments or trials is how much? 50. Number of times tail has come. So since here number of times head has given is given 32, so how can we find the number of times in which tail has come? So total number of experiments minus number of heads. So number of times head has come. So 50 minus 32 gives us 18, and 18 is what? 18 is number of times tail has come. And what we have to find here? We have to find the empirical probability of getting a tail. So empirical probability is equal to number of trials in which an event occurs, and what is our event? Basically tail. So what is the number? The number is 18. So 18 divided by total, and total number how much? 50. So 18 over 50 is our empirical probability of getting a tail. So let us answer another example given in our handout. Example 4.3.1. and it says that a player has made 527 free throws in 698 attempts. Calculate the probability that the player makes a free throw on the next attempt. So let us represent the event that player makes a free throw in his attempt by E. So probability of E is equal to number of attempts made by player and how many they are 690 527 divided by total number of events how much 698. So 527 divided by 698 gives us approximately 0.76. I'm going to repeat once again. A player has made 527 free throws in 698 attempts. Calculate the probability that the player makes a free throw on the next attempts on the next attempt. So let E represents the event that player makes a free throw in his attempt. So how many throws a player has made? 527. So that's why 527 in the numerator divided by total number of attempts. So how many events, total number of events we have? 698. So 527 divided by 698 gives us approximately 0.76. So next example, that is 4.3.2. In 2002 there were 62,318 flights departing from Muscat International Airport. Of these, 8,821 were late in departing. Calculate the probability that a flight departing from Muscat will be delayed. So once again, let D represents the event that the flight will be delayed. Students, if you remember, I explained that you can use the capital letter to denote an event. So let us represent the event that the flight will be delayed by D, and we have to find the probability of D. And first of all, we have to find the number of trials in which this D occurs. So how many? 8,821. So 821 in the 8,821 in the numerator divided by the total number of flights. So total number of flights are 62,318. So 62,318 in the denominator. When we divide 8,821 by 62,318, we will get an approximate value of 0.14. Well, students, let us study an empirical probability or experimental probability with frequency tables. Given a frequency table for a set of data values, we can calculate the probability of the event that a data value falls into any data class. We can use this formula which says that probability of an event E is equal to frequency for the class divided by total frequency in the distribution. So let us do an example number 4.3.3, and it says that consider the frequency table of exam scores. classes are given as 90 to 99, 80 to 89, 70 to 79, 60 to 69, 50 to 59, 40 to 49, and the frequency is given in the second column. Students whose exam scores falls in this class are 4, in this class 6, then 4, 3, 2 and 1. So total number of frequency is 20. How can we know? Just collect all. 4 plus 6 plus 4 plus 3 plus 2 plus 1. Sum all the frequency values. You will get total frequency, and the total frequency is nothing but 20. We will use that number, that is 20, to calculate the probabilities in part A, B, C and D. So part A is, if A is the event that a student scores between 90 and 99 in the exam, then find P of A. So students, first of all, try to understand the questions, that how we have to start. So A is the event that a student scores between 90 and 99 in the exam. So find P of A. So probability of A, what is the rule? Frequency for the class, or the number of outcomes for event A. So A represent the class 90 to 99. So how many outcomes here? 4. So that's why 4 divided by total. So total how much? 20. So 4 divided by 20 is equal to 0.20. Part B, if B is the event that a student scores less than 70 in the exam, then find probability of B. So B is the event that student scores less than 70. So less than 70 means which class? 60 to 69, 50 to 59, 40 to 49. So how many classes we have less than 70? 1, 2, 3. So what we have to do, when we have to find the number of outcomes, we have to collect all the frequency values starting from 60 to 69 until 40 to 49. So how much we will get? 3 plus 2 plus 1. So 3 plus 2 plus 1. So these are the outcomes for the scores less than 70. So 3 plus 2 plus 1, how much? 6. And in the denominator, the total frequency or total number, how much? Total frequency 20, we already calculated. So 6 divided by 20 is equal to 0.30. So let us answer now part C. Let D be the event that a student scores between 80 and 89 on the exam. So calculate PD, means calculate probability of D. So how now we have to calculate the number of outcomes for 80 until 89. So how many outcomes we have for the event D, that is 80 to 89? We have 6. So that's why 6 in the numerator divided by the total. Total how much? 20. We already calculated. How we got 20? By collecting all the frequency values. So 6 divided 20 is equal to 0.30. Now let us answer part D. Let E be the event that a student passes the exam with a grade of C or higher. Calculate probability of E. Note that students that grade C represent 60 to 69, B 70 to 79 and so on. So anyone who score 60 to 69 represents grade C, and 70 to 79 B, then B plus, and like that. So how to find the probability of E? So we have to see how many outcomes for 60 to 69, because we represent here grade C with the class 60 to 69. So 3, then higher 4, 6, 4. So 3 plus 4 plus 6 plus 4, how much? 17. So these are the outcomes, that is 3, 4, 6 and 4 for grade C and higher. So total number of outcomes for an event E 17, and divided by total frequency, that is 20. So 17 over 20 is our final answer. Well students, let us answer few questions from the exercise. Question number 11. Consider the experiment of flipping a coin 3 times. I repeat once again, consider the experiment of flipping a coin 3 times, and what we have to calculate in part A, calculate the number of outcomes in omega, means in the sample space. Write out the elements of sample space, and in part C, calculate the probability of all tails, one tail, etc. So students, for your understanding purpose, I use this diagram. So here we have a coin, and this is the first toss. When we flip a coin first time, we'll get either head or tail. So these are the two possible outcomes, that is head or tail. Now here the first toss ends. Now in the second toss we are here. So again when we toss, again we have two possibilities, head and tail here, and here also, although we have a tail, but still it is a coin. So again we have two possibilities, that is head or tail. So in the third toss, here again we have two possibilities, that is head and tail, and also here again we have two possibilities, that is head and tail. Similarly here again we have two possibilities, that is head and tail, and here also we have two possibilities, that is head and tail. So let us now write down the outcomes when we flip a coin 3 times. This is first toss, this is second toss, and this is the third one. So start from here, head, head and head. You see, this is the one of the outcome, head, head and head, I wrote over here. Then head, head and tail, again I wrote over here another outcome. Then head, tail, head, head, tail, head, again I wrote over here. Then head, tail, tail, here we have head, tail, tail. Then tail, head, head, tail, head, head. Then tail, head, tail, tail, head, tail. Then tail, tail, head, so TTH. Then TTT means tail, tail and tail, so TTT. So let us answer now part A. Calculate the number of outcomes in sample space. So how many outcomes we have? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7 and 8. So our answer for part A is 8. Now part B, write out the elements of sample space. So let us write in the form of a set. So curly bracket, then write down all the outcomes, head, 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 tail, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, head, tail, head, tail, 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 head, tail, tail, tail. So this is our sample space, because you know the definition, collection of all the outcomes. So this is our sample space. Now part C, calculate the probability of all tails, one tail, etc. So let us calculate first the probability of all tails. So P of TTT. So how many, so you know the rule that number of events divided by the sample space. So how many outcomes we have for the event all tails? So we have one outcome. You see here TTT, all tails. So 1 divided by total. So total how much? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. So that's why 1 divided by 8. Now next, probability of one tail, only one tail. So how many outcomes we have for one, for an event having one tail? So here all three heads leave, here we have one tail, so 1, again here another outcome with one tail, 2, here 2 tails leave, here one tail, so keep. So how many we have, how many outcomes we have for an event having only one tail? 1, 2 and 3. So 3 divided by total, how much total? 8. So 3 divided by 8 is our probability for one tail. Well students, let us answer question number 12 of the exercise, that is, consider the experiment of rolling 2 dice. In part A, calculate the probability that the first die is odd. In part B, calculate the probability of rolling a 7 and 11, a 5. And in part C, calculate the probability of rolling doubles. Students, for your reference purpose, I have taken here 2 dice because our question is based on rolling of 2 dice. So for example, when we roll 2 dice, so there is a possibility that in first die we will get 1 and in the second die we will get 1 or 2 or 3 or 4 or 5 or 6. So the total possible outcomes are 1 to 1, 1 to 2, 1 to 3, 1 to 4, 1 to 5 and 1 to 6. Similarly, 2 to 1, 2 to 2, 2 to 3, 2 to 4, 2 to 5 and 2 and 6. So for more detail, let us write down a sample space with the help of table. So for first die, how many possible outcomes we have for single die? 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6. So let us write all these 6 possibilities or outcomes in the first row and for the second die the first column. So let us write down the possible outcomes. 1 and 1, that is 1 comma 1, then 1 comma 2, then 1 comma 3, then 1 comma 4, then 1 comma 5, then 1 comma 6, then 2 comma 1, 2 comma 2, 2 comma 3, 2 comma 4, 2 comma 5 and 2 comma 6. Proceeding in the same way, we'll get 6 comma 1, 6 comma 2, 6 comma 3, 6 comma 4, 6 comma 5, 6 comma 6. So this is the sample space of rolling 2 dice and the total number of outcomes are 36. I repeat once, the total number of outcomes of a sample space is 36. So let us calculate the probability that the first die is odd. So students, you know that odd means 1, 3 and 5. So here we have to find the probability of an event such that first die is odd. So let us see here, you see here 1, 1, 1, 1, 1, 1. So how many outcomes? 1 2 3 4 5 6. So here what is the first die here? 2. So 2 is not odd, so leave that one. So 3, yes, 3 is odd. So 1 2 3 4 5 6. So 4 is even, so leave it. So we have again 5 1 5 2 5 3 5 4 5 5 5 6. So we have to consider only the odd numbers in the first die. So what are the odd numbers here? 1 3 and 5. So how many outcomes total? 6 plus 6 12 and plus 6 18. So total number of outcomes for an event having first die as an odd number is 18. So 18 divided by total how much we have? 36. How we'll get 36? When we collect all this, so we'll get 36 as a total number of outcomes. So 18 divided by 36, 1 over 2 equals 0.5. I'm going to repeat once again. We have to find the probability of an event that the first die is odd. So 1 3 and 5. So the total number of outcomes are for an event are 18. So 18 divided by total number of outcomes of sample space. So 18 divided by 36, half, so 0.5. In part B, we have to calculate the probability of rolling is 7 and 11 a 5. So probability of rolling is 7. So we have, when we roll two dice, we have to see that which outcome gives us 7. So you see here 1 and 6, 1 plus 6 7, 2 plus 5 7, 3 plus 4 7, 4 plus 3 7, 5 plus 2 7, 6 plus 1 7. So we have in total 6 outcomes for this event. So 6 divided by 36 gives us 1 over 6 as a probability of rolling a 7. So similarly, let us calculate probability of rolling an 11. So let us see the number of outcomes for this event. So here we have 5 and 6 11, 6 and 5 11. So we have only 2 outcomes for this event. So number of outcomes for rolling an 11 are 2. So 2 divided by total number of outcomes in a sample space. So 2 divided by 36 equal 1 upon 18. Now let us calculate the probability of getting a 5. So we have to calculate the number of outcomes for this event, and how many we have? We have 1 and 4. 1 and 4 gives us 5, 2 3 gives us 5, 3 2 gives us 5, 4 1 gives us 5. So how many we have in a total? 4 outcomes for this event. So 4 divided by 36 equal 1 upon 9. So the probability of a 5 is 1 upon 9. So the last part is calculate the probability of rolling doubles. So when we throw two dice, so we have how many outcomes for throwing doubles? Means 1 1 2 2 3 3 4 4 5 5 6 6. So we have in a total 6 outcomes for this event. So 6 divided by total number of outcomes of a sample space, that is 36. So 6 divided 36 equal 1 over 6. So 1 over 6 is our probability of rolling doubles. Well students, I have some practice questions for you. Question number 1. The number of persons died due to a COVID-19 pandemic in 5 countries are given in the following table. The country names are given in first column and the deaths are given in the second column. So find part A, probability of A. If A is the event, represent the number of deaths in the US A due to a COVID-19 pandemic. In part B, you have to find the probability of B. If B is the event, represent the number of deaths in the UK due to a COVID-19 pandemic. In question number 2, a coin is tossed 50 times in which 22 times it gives a tail. Find the empirical probability of getting a head. Thank you very much.